to the SAP Entertainment Show, where we interview singers, rappers, entrepreneurs of all walks of life. And today's special guest, we have a talented rapper by the name of Dolfin. How you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great, Sarah. Thanks for having me. How about you?
I'm doing excellent.
Ooh, okay.
So let the world hear your story.
Alrighty. I've always had a love for language, and so as a kid, I was in a lot of spelling bees and did pretty well. But just learning the English language was really big for me. So I fell in love with that. Fell in love with poetry, and then in eighth grade, on the way to a basketball game, my dad played "Ice Ice Baby" by Vanilla Ice for me, and that was the first rap song I ever heard. And immediately, I kind of gravitated towards that and just fell in love with hip hop. And I know that Vanilla Ice is a hilarious situation for someone who's already pretty white. But
Yeah.
that was my gateway to hip hop. And so I started finding, I think I started about like the 90s era, like Notorious B.I.G. Was kind of the next artist I found, and then early 2000s hip hop. So I really fell in love with that. And then my sophomore year of high school decided, hey, why can't I do this? You know, I love music. I've done choir. I write poetry. Like, it's pretty much just putting poetry to music, and that's what hip hop is essentially. So I started doing it then. Made a SoundCloud. It wasn't anything too serious, and started writing just funny songs. And now to this date, I started producing a few years ago in Ableton, and that kind of opened up a lot more opportunity for me to grow musically. But I don't play an instrument, so that's been a limiting factor. But using software, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And so now I've been working on music, working on songs, working on producing for the last few years, and haven't necessarily put anything out there. But for the last few months, I've been working pretty hard on putting together an album or an EP of some sort, and just really trying to make sure that the beats are what they should be, that the mixing should sound great, and that my lyricism shines through in a way that didn't formerly, or back when I was just pumping out a ton of music just for the heck of it.
For sure.
So right now, just in that creative grind, really enjoying it, really loving it. And a huge thing for me is I'm a Christian, so being a Christian artist, that I want my faith to shine through my lyrics, but I don't want to come across in a corny way, which I think a lot of Christian rap unfortunately does by trying to be what it's not, trying to be mainstream or trying to be whatever's popping at the moment. So that's my background in music.
Okay. So where you from?
I was born in Los Angeles, California, and then moved up to Northern California around the Sacramento area and lived there for most of my life. And now I'm in Eugene, Oregon. And
Oh,
I just
okay.
finished college a year ago, and then I got married, and now I work here. So it's been great. I really love the West Coast is awesome though. Love all of it.
Yeah, it's a networking state. Livable, I don't know.
It's getting
Livable,
pretty
I don't
ugly.
know. Worse than New York, huh?
Hmm.
So, okay. So, who inspired you to do music?
mm. I would say the artist that I listened to that really made me want to start doing music was Kendrick Lamar. And to this day, he's still probably my favorite rapper and favorite artist out there. He's just been a huge inspiration to me. He's very eloquent. He talks about things that most people kind of struggle to address in a way that is well thought out, is thought provoking. And so he really inspired me to want to write music because he just does it so freaking well and is just so good at it. Like, I've never seen any other artist really on the level that he's at. So hearing his music really gave me that push to be like, if I can even do a fraction of what he's doing and do it well, then I can be heading in the right direction.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so besides Kendrick Lamar, do you have any people that's influenced you or anything?
Mm. I
I say like a
mean,
top three influencers besides Kendrick Lamar.
sure. As far as like musical influences, I mean, the artists that I grew up on and I really loved initially before hip hop, like Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. So a lot of like R&B, pop, soul, kind of Motown, I guess is a good way to describe that. So I do love I love sampling for using beats, sampling some of those sounds that I grew up on that I love that are really catchy. But then artistically, there's Kendrick, who I really respect. Um, as of recent, I've really fallen in love with Freddie Gibbs and a lot of his music. He's been doing it for such a long time, so I've been kind of falling in love with his catalog. And then I guess a little bit of Action Bronson, in
Okay.
the way that he's just kind of totally off the wall, isn't afraid to say whatever. And sometimes it's just a strange thing. Sometimes it really hits home. But I kind of want to embody that in my music, and that I want to be serious, but I also want to just have some fun with it sometimes. Just say something wild that really catches your attention.
For sure. So, how is the music scene out there in, you say, Oregon?
Yeah, in Eugene, it's pretty bad. I mean, I can't really speak for all of it or pretend that I know everything, but locally, there's not a ton of people who are interested in music or actively pursuing that. There's a lot of like older people who do folk music or like country and do live gigs and stuff. And there's a lot of artists that like come through town because we have some venues, but the local scene is pretty small and low key. And so I don't really have much of a network of people to do music with. I just have a few people I know from going to school who have some sort of interest or play an instrument. And that's kind of the people that I try to link up with and help me out with some of those musical things that I can't do.
Okay. That's what's up. So, what made you move to Oregon then? Like,
I came here for school, but I didn't really have too much of a plan. My whole life being in California, I wanted to go to Stanford because I thought that was just like the most prestigious school, super cool. And then I ended up only applying there and then applying at a place called Bushnell University here in town in Eugene, which is a small private Christian school. And I really liked the environment, the community. That was cool to me. And I didn't get into Stanford. Wow, who would have thought? Who would have expected that? um, so I ended up coming here for school and then meeting my wife, and so that's how I came to be here, and that's why I'm still here. But I do really love it, and I mean, as expensive as housing is, and kind of the external conditions, I do really love Eugene. It's a wonderful place, and there's some great people here.
okay, that's what's up. So, let's talk about your producing skills. What are your style genre of music?
Hmm. Stylistically, I try to explore a few different sounds kind of within hip hop. I'm very much so a rapper and not a singer. I can sing and I have like a decent voice, but I'm no person that you're tuning in to hear or giving a solo to. So as far as production goes, I usually go mostly the route of either boom bap or trap or something between the two of those. And a lot of the time, it's easier to kind of lean towards trap because I just have more influence from that. But I've been finding a lot of other producers who are more so in the boom bap lane, like The Alchemist, who recently I've just been
Mhm.
listening to a ton of his stuff.
I love
And
that. Yeah.
so there's moments and moods that'll inspire me in either direction, or I'll try something that I've never done before, like maybe something more punk rock esque, and that'll come out really terrible, and I'll be like, oh yeah, well, there's a reason why I stay away from that. But as far as my sound, yeah, it's just very much either trap or boom bap.
Okay. So, are you like hoping for some dope artists to jump on your music?
I think right now I just produce for myself. I a lot of the beats that I made aren't like I continue to get better. So I look back at stuff even a few months ago that I made, and I'm like, oh, that sounds awful in comparison to the things I'm doing now. Um, so I've never really proactively tried to get my beats out there or to like make a career as a producer, but it's given me the ability to produce for myself, and I'm good enough to make beats that I would rap over, but I'm not necessarily fantastic. I'm much more competent as like a lyricist, as an artist, than as a producer.
Right.
But I feel like doing both is a really good thing and really good knowledge to have moving forward if I'm working with producers. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see anyone on my beats anytime soon besides
Anytime
maybe
soon.
myself.
But in the future, who would you like to work with?
Ooh, I mean, this is a total long shot, but like The Alchemist is just amazing. So like doing some sort of collaboration with him, like his beat selections, impeccable samples and whatnot. Um, Other artists that I really like. I mean, mainstream artists that I could work with would be awesome. Like anyone from like Kendrick to Logic to I don't know, Lil Nas X. Like the possibilities are endless. I would love to work with anyone and everyone. And then within like Christian rap, there's not a ton of prominent names, but someone like an Andy Mineo or like a Lecrae or a Holvey, no big deal. Like there's a few guys who more so I kind of would align myself with. That it would be cool to work with, but I'm pretty open minded.
Okay. Okay. What would you say your strengths are in the music?
Mm. I think from like top to bottom, I think number one, as a lyricist and a songwriter, that's probably my biggest strength. Second, maybe performance wise, I feel very comfortable on stage. I feel very comfortable like in front of an audience, in front of people. Like attention doesn't frighten me. Um, and then maybe after that, the production side of things, or more just like general musicality, I think that's something that I have a good ear for. Like I'm not gonna hop on a beat in the 808 be completely off tune, or I'm not gonna like put something out where I'm singing off key.
For sure.
And then maybe after that, more like a business sense. I don't have a ton of like business sense or experience, so I'm kind of just using all the skills that I have right now to create the art and then let the business side of things happen later on. So I guess um, relationship, I'm probably relationally better than I am business wise. So connecting with other artists, connecting with people who could help me out, all of those things I think I'm better at. And then I am a video editor, and that's my full time job. So, I mean, editing my own videos or like creating media for my social pages, stuff like that's fairly easy and within my wheelhouse. So that's kind of those are kind of my strengths. My weakness is not knowing how to use autotune. So I
Yeah.
haven't done a lot of songs with me primarily singing on them. And if I did, it would be interesting.
Hmm.
Maybe not in a good
Well,
way.
you don't really need it, but nowadays they want to hear the auto tune,
Oh, they
regardless if you can
definitely do.
sing or not. Like for real, that's what's up. Okay, so you say you was a rapper. Do you mind spitting a few bars for us?
Yeah, I can do that. Do you have a beat, or you just want me to just free flow
Just
go for it?
freestyle.
We'll just go for a little something then. I like to spit. I ain't talking about saliva. I made it through the struggles. Yeah, I'm a survivor. I just want to thrive. I just want to enjoy my life with my wife on my side. Yeah, we slide through the city in the bulletproof coopty. See me in the hoopty. Going to Baskin Robbins, get a scoop or two. I don't know. I'm in a two-seater. Yeah, you see me in that wife beater. Just kidding, but it's a white tee. I don't rock no Nikes. I might just go shoot a movie feeling like Spike Lee. Watching the Knicks. No, I'm hitting some threes. No, I'm getting some picks. Yeah, I got some fans and they loving me, but it's okay. I do it my way. I'm on the highway like it's Friday. 95 up on the interstate. I'm on your dinner plate, but I'm not your dinner. You know to me, I'm a born sinner, but I'm still a winner, and I'm gonna do it to the death of me. And it's okay, because if they ain't never stepped to me, then they ain't never heard of me. Why are you talking in these bars like you want to murder me?
Ooh. Damn. Okay. Look at you. You got it in. I'm gonna have to definitely send you some beats for real.
Thank you. That would be awesome.
Okay, so What obstacles did you have to overcome to get this far in your life?
Hmm. Just like generally or musically?
Just life.
Oh man. Um, that's kind of a tough question. I think that it's hard to answer that because I feel like I definitely haven't had a struggle that's comparable to a lot of people. So just personally for me, one of my biggest struggles personally has just been kind of like growing up and maturing. That's been a really tough part. Um, and then especially in my faith and in my relationship with like God and Jesus, that's
Mhm.
been a very big priority, but something that's taken a really long time. So honestly, just overcoming myself, overcoming maybe the things that I wanted or was hoping for that weren't necessarily in the plan for me or in my best interest. Whether that was like attention from other people or wanting relationships or wanting success or attention or fame, all those things. I've kind of learned to not prioritize those because that's not what really matters. And so, in prioritizing my faith first and then the people around me, my relationships, pouring into the people that I'm near that I can have an impact in their lives in some meaningful way. All of those things have been, um, I guess, just overcoming myself to be able to think outside of myself and what I
Mhm.
want has been the biggest struggle for me personally. And so now starting to get to the other side of that has been really awesome, where I'm getting to a place where I actually enjoy serving other people or doing things that I don't necessarily enjoy, but they're not for me in the first place. So it's a whole new way of living, and it's strange and it's weird at times, but it has been really awesome.
Right. Okay, that's what's up. So, how far do you hope to go in your music career?
Oh man, the ultimate goal, if I'm just talking about my dream and what would be incredible, would be to become a full time artist and tour and perform and kind of have music as a career instead of a hobby, which would be very, I don't know, it would just be so cool, so much fun. Um, I already work for a YouTuber, someone who does YouTube full time, and there's so much freedom in doing that, which is awesome. But then being an actual artist, there's so many other things and benefits you get to enjoy.
Hmm.
But for me, since my main prerogative in what I'm doing musically and the reason why I make music is so that other people can hear it and so that
Hmm.
it can mean something to them.
For
I
sure.
remember back when I was on SoundCloud in high school, I had like one kid message me and say, "Hey man, I've been listening to your music like all the time. You're my favorite. When are you putting out stuff?" And to me, it seemed hilarious because I listened back
That's
to my stuff. I was like,
motivating, though.
that's terrible. It was so bad. He should have never looked. But in my mind, that was just kind of a confirmation. Like even if me making this silly music and something that like I'm not even really being intentional about can mean something to one person, then it's worth doing it if I have the gift and the talent and the blessing to be able to do that.
For sure.
So yeah, like big picture, I would love to be able to have tons of people hear my music, but not necessarily so that I could get rich or famous, but more so just that I can reach them in a
Just do it for the
place.
love.
Yeah, do it for that and then do it for God because
Yeah.
ultimately I want God to be portrayed through my music and to be shared with them. So it's just a vehicle, and
Sure.
I'd be riding that vehicle, but it's not for me or about me. So that's what I'd be really excited to do. Like if I could go just be doing shows on whatever scale, small scale, large scale, I would be very happy and excited to do that.
Okay, so how soon should we be looking forward for that project, that EP?
That EP.
Okay.
Um, sorry, you did a run, so I had to throw back. Optimistically, probably in the next month or two. I'm in the process of writing a few more songs, which I keep doing. So I have a ton of songs I'm just sitting on, but I really want to make sure that I'm putting forth my best product and something that's kind of recent and relevant. So probably finish up a few more songs and then maybe shoot some music videos, some visuals for those, and then release them in the next month or two. My biggest holdback is kind of the perfectionism on the mixing side, because that's one of my weakest areas. And so I'm like, oh,
It
it
was
doesn't sound
all of
perfect.
ours. We
Yeah.
all struggle with that, but I got better. It's like now I'm at a master ear now. Now I overdo it, so when I try to get the song master, they be like, Sarah, it's already nice and loud.
It's the worst. It is the worst. And I'm so aware of it, and I
Yeah.
still do it to myself. Where I'll
Yeah.
hear a song and be like, oh, I could just, there's one more thing.
It's
And
what, and you know what?
yeah.
We mess it up. Just leave it alone. When I learned, as just doing it for so long, like when you start doing this while you mixing, like, hey, start rocking to it, it's done. Just bounce it out, leave it alone. Because later down the line, once you listen to it, you can be like, oh, that actually sound dope. And we stand in the way of our own destiny for some reason. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
do you have any advice for anybody that's trying to follow your footsteps? What advice would you give them?
I mean, musically, I would say just practice is everything. Like with anything, if you're pursuing excellence, you got to put in the repetitions. You got to try it out. You got to work at it. And music is an interesting thing because it is a creative process and it can get exhausting. So I've gone through periods of like a few weeks where I'm just on fire and I'm making song after song, and then I've gone through a few months where it's like I don't even want to open my laptop.
Yeah, it
Like,
gets like
get
that.
me away from it. I just want to lay on the couch and relax.
Just
So
relax, okay? Yeah.
so the mental fortitude that you get from pushing through those moments where you're like, this is the last thing I want to do, it will pay off and it's so worth it. The same way that like working out, like I hate working out, but I know that it's something that's good for me. So I go and do it, and then I get the results even though I don't love it. But with something like music, if you really love it, sometimes you got to do it when you're not
Just
loving
gotta
it.
keep doing it. Just never give up.
So yeah, keep pushing. I'd say definitely try different things, experimenting, because if you are starting out, you usually don't have much to kind of base your sound on. And so it's easy to get sucked into, well, I admire so and so, so I'm just going to try to be them or sound like them. And there's so many people that do that and sound like someone else, like sound like you.
It's
And
horrible.
it's not that hard.
Now. It's just horrible.
It is. It's copy paste from the industry side. So definitely just like harness what makes you unique and find a way to convey that in your music. Work hard, keep your head down, and then also, I guess, be supportive of yourself. If you're always down or you're super insecure over what you're making, then it's never going to get out there anyways, and it's not worth it. Like someone is going to appreciate your music no matter who it is. And so it's always worth it to take that step and just put something out, even if it sucks later down the road and you're like, that is embarrassing. The progression is what it's all about. It's not about perfection. It's about the progress and the process of getting from one spot to the next spot and then continuing to move.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, y'all heard it. How can we follow you? Let the world know all of your social media sites.
You got it.
Get in touch with you.
So on Instagram, I believe I'm L Dolfin Music. L as in EL Dolfin, Dolfin. I misspelled it in English and Spanish just so that you could find me. And then on TikTok, I think it's L Dolfin. And then otherwise on Spotify, I think it's just L Dolfin. And so music's going to be there soon, but my Instagram's probably the most active. So L Dolfin Music. Go check it out. I do basketball stuff. I do some just funny things because I'm a quirky person. But then there's definitely a lot of freestyles, a lot of music up on there as well if you want to check that out. So thank you.
Okay. And make sure y'all stick around because I'm going to play one of his freestyles. Thank y'all for tuning in to SAP Entertainment Show with me, the host, SarahSoulstress, and your boy, L Dolfin. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye for now.
Snake, talk to me crazy, I go get a rake. I just pulled up in a phantom, no wraith. And they know I gotta do what it takes. I wanna be on the top like I'm Drake. Yeah, I cannot do if you fake. Yeah, I did it all with the faith, like I'm Tom Brady. Look at my lady, in a Mercedes coupe. Look what I do, alley oop. Yeah, I be hanging with troops. Yeah, you know I gotta shoot out the roof. That's a convertible top, dropping the top, and I'll be getting it chopped like I'm Young Chalk on the beat. Yeah, I be chopping the beat. I got them all on their feet. Yeah, they be mobbing with me. Yeah. I got my city behind me, you know they grimy. Look at my wrist, look at my life, they blinded. I'm on a weekend, but it's a weekday, and you know we straight. I got a cheat day, that's a grilled cheese, and they feel me, and I'm still me.